We are now back for public comments at the Board of Supervisors, which they made us wait for almost 2 hours before coming back from recess.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rene. My wife and I ran for public office a couple of years ago. My wife ran in 2012, I ran in 2014. My wife ran for clerk of the court, and myself, I ran for state representative. Each of us garnered over 30% of the votes in our respective campaigns, and we were unannounced. But we are growing in people that need to have our issues of the people addressed. And we are growing in size because our voices are not being heard. I heard at the presentation earlier today, someone made a comment about homelessness, and obviously there was some discussions on both sides. But we have a resolution. It's Resolution 6021, which is truly national in scope. What I didn't say to you is I'm from Florida. I came from Florida because I believe your county is one of the epicenters of a problem in our country. And I think you have it within your power to address the problem and address the homelessness issue. I'm fortunate, I've never been homeless, but I have also encountered some people that have been homeless, and their stories, one of them was a veteran in the state of Texas. I met him, and he was so poor. I'm just so grateful and glad that I'm not in his position and in his shoes. And one of the things I heard mentioned is that you all should spend a little time being homeless. And it really resonated with me, because when you see and hear the stories of the homeless people, it truly is humbling to hear what their stories are and what they've been through. I was in attendance in Jacksonville Federal Court of a woman named Lorraine Brown, and you can look up the Department of Justice website to see her and who she was and is. She admitted to the creation. She had 2 sentencing hearings, and I was the only one in attendance at both hearings. She admitted to the creation of a minimum of 1 million falsified documents on public record. I heard recently that your recorder of deeds said he's only had 2 cases. It's much more prevalent than 2 cases. So thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Next speaker, please.
Rene Powers is coming to.
Good afternoon. I'm really happy to be here. I would like to have your attention, please, at the podium, because this is extremely important. My name is Billy. I'm the National Chairwoman for the National Committee in support of Resolution 6021. It brings remedy to homelessness, sustainability to home ownership, and to affordable housing. And today I heard heated sides from both sides and so much emotion. And what we're bringing today is Bruce Jacobs, Florida attorney, partnered and co-authored with Miami Mayor Suarez and Commissioner Ken Russell for this resolution. And the way the funding is that the banks, the servicers, the criminals who are stealing our homes, creating counterfeit securities, false documentation, purging the records, are held accountable for sanctions. Bruce won $150 million sanctions against Bank of America in Miami. Now you do the math. All this arguing going on is always about money. You get accused of wanting to take money. The homeless get accused of not having enough, so they go to jail. How about we sit down together, build bridges, quit slinging mud, quit making each other mad, and find the common ground? And the common ground is we the people. I am a mother of 5 children. The last time I was here, Todd Spitzer was chairman, promised to look into the fraud that caused the SWAT team to hit my house. The second time the SWAT team hit my house, I was made homeless. I lived in a garage. Have you ever lived in a garage? Seriously, Mr. Wagner, have you ever lived in a garage? This is my point. I'm not being heard. And this is what we want.
I heard you. I heard the question. You asked if I've ever lived in a garage. You asked several of us that. That doesn't mean we're supposed to respond under the Brown Act.
Okay, please continue. Please continue, speaker.
Use their time.
In order to continue, we have to be able to admit that we live in a matrix from each other. Our world, like Doe said, we live in a different world than you do. When you've lived in our world, but can't we build a bridge and admit that, okay, there's differences, but can't we agree to disagree? I'm handing you a gift here for Orange County. Chairwoman Bartlett, I'm in your district. Well, my home that was stolen from me is. At gunpoint, everything right down to my underwear, with evidence of fraud. I'm in the appeals court here. All of these people back here, you see the whistles? Today is National Whistleblowers Day.
Okay, we appreciate you being here. If you could wrap up your comments.
I'd like
Your
to
time
take
is
40 seconds more since.
Oh, you can't take 40 seconds.
Okay, to wrap up my comments, I would be highly disappointed in all of you, if none of you can build this bridge with me. I'm ready to stand with you, bring Bruce Jacobs. We can do the same thing Miami's doing, the same thing Hawaii's doing. We're partnering across the
Okay,
country.
all right.
Let's
Thank
do
you.
it.
Thank you for your comment. Next speaker, please.
Dr. Susan, next three speakers are Brigitte, Elia Seglin, and Robert Seglin.
Hello, my name is Susan Augustitis. I live in Carmel Valley, California on the Monterey Peninsula. Beautiful place to live, but it's not immune from fraudulent foreclosure either. Monterey County has its issue with homelessness and the homeless population and lack of funding on how to best address it. They have supervisors that are equally concerned and have various methods that they tried to bring an end to homelessness. What Billy has presented to you, she's emailed you the documents and provided you with folders as well as a thumb drive that has all the documentation, the explanation, the clarification, court cases. She's got given you the Willy Wonka golden ticket on how to fund the end to homelessness in your county. Also, this is a national effort. I've known Billy for, well, since 2012, under the worst circumstances, having your home stolen because big banks get away with it. I'm still in my home. I'm still fighting. Now we have an answer to not only helping people less fortunate, but also simultaneously making the perpetrators pay. We're a national movement. We're getting bigger, stronger. Voices are being heard. Hear mine today.
Next speaker, please. You can call the following three speakers.
Elia Seglin, Robert Seglin, and Lou Noble.
Any youths out there, listen up. Don't let the door hit you where the dog bit you, you biatch.
Oh my God.
That's what you think of everybody at this microphone, Madam Chair. You condescend and come from your high horse. I'll give you an example, Madam Chair, your actions. Not a lot of people know this. On 11/8/2016, this chairman removed you from this meeting. She did it illegally, immorally, unethically. She released the agenda to the public, and then put it on a supplement, the biggest change in the history of this county, and she commingled public comments with agenda comments so it would stifle your voice. And she passed the mantle to Chairman Steele for the whole year. Every meeting, you guys, the public, it was a ghost town. They pooped you out like a brown load at the start, and then they had their little church chat. You guys are busted. Wow, Billy, go. Thank God we have people who fight. You know, Evia Seguin, Madam Chair, he's a treasure. You're not. You're a supervisor. You're not a treasure. You know why? He and his son, Rabbi Robert, because they are fighting for freedom. Freedom of his son he's fighting for. I mean, what's wrong with that blinking picture? And then status quo go, well, veins coming out your neck? Well, I'll let my veins come out of my neck. With all due respect, you had nothing to do with removing the homeless from the riverbed. You had nothing to do with the $73 million that went to the private and public sector that was burning the hole on the desk. You had nothing to do with that. A federal judge put a gun to your head via court saying you have all this money, you're swimming in it. The homeless advocates that are behind me, that a lot don't even get paid to come here, that are boots on the ground, they're the reason the homeless gets all this money in the housing and the doors are open. Not you, not your staff. Not one staff of this 18,000 staff came to this microphone and said, we got to help the homeless. We had people, Mike and Janine, giving names of people dying. Now we got people dying in the prison. I'm telling you something. You got the fruits that's just the fruit of what's been going on right here. That's not an aberration. That's not, well, we did this and we fixed it. That's cancer. This county is so I see nothing-itis that you've got cancer, and guess what cancer requires? Surgery.
All right, thank you. Next speaker, please.
We'll be right back.